Hey friends, Ash here, welcome back to Gents. Hope you're well.
Come with me, yes.
The rarest and best type of clone is the inexpensive fragrance that smells as good as or even better than the original. And with that, usually comes a ton of hype. So today I've got 10 that actually are worth that hype, 2 that definitely aren't, and 2 that are somewhere in the middle. I'm gonna try to start working in some of these fragrances that I've bought that I think kind of suck, because it's important that you know about those as well to stay away from. All these are gonna be linked in the description. Let's start with one of the ones that kind of sucks. Riiffs Freeze. Now the presentation here is weird to me because at the same time it looks cheap and kind of cool. I don't know, it's weird. It's like part of me is revulsed and thinks that it looks like crap, and then part of me is like, it's pretty cool. The atomizer here, pretty good. The fragrance, it's gotten a lot of hype. I don't think it's worth it. To me, it's really, really minty to the point of smelling like toothpaste mint, because there are a lot of really minty fragrances that I love, but once you cross that threshold to where it smells like I'm brushing my teeth, it's not as nice anymore, and that's what this one does. It also has that cheap, synthetic, semi-chemical scent profile to it when you first spray it on. It's kind of sharp. And as I said, there's some minty fragrances that I really like, stuff like the new Y Iced Cologne by Yves Saint Laurent. And this one's not a clone of that because it came out before that one, but with the overload of mint in here, you could almost use it as a replacement for that if you hated yourself and didn't want anything that smelled as nice as that one does. You could go for this one. I guess it does have somewhat of a cold, freezy, briskness to it, but by and large, the Riiffs fragrances that I have purchased have been rough, and this one is no different. I'd stay away from it. But now a fragrance that's been getting hyped that actually is pretty decent. This is Risala Autograph by Le Falconé. And I gotta say, Le Falconé has been making a big advertising push all over the place, and I purchased like 5 or 6 of their fragrances. Pretty much all of them are terrible, but this one is good. And it's also the most expensive one that I bought from the brand, and obviously has the most flashy bottle, which is kind of cool. Look, you can like write with it even. Nice. And it's weird because they can obviously do good stuff. Like this is nice. The presentation is good. The box opens up like that. It does that. But it's just one of those things where you see it starting to be pushed everywhere, and a lot of the stuff just isn't it. Now back to this, it smells similar to Isala Blue by Roger Parfum, kind of in the opening, so it's gonna also have a little bit of a Terre d'Hermès vibe to it when you first spray it on, then as it dries down, it smells more like Basso. Basso. The quality of the fragrance is actually really nice. It does have a little bit of that like classic Middle Eastern flair to it, but done really well. Performance is great also, really good for fall and winter time. Spring as well. Really good performance, great quality, good for fall, winter, spring, and yeah, it's just one of those deals where you think, where does the brand go? More stuff like this, or more stuff like the throwaway crapola that they put out. The issue with that one though is I had to pick it up from eBay because it's available almost nowhere. So I had to buy it from eBay and paid, I think at the time, $50, something like that, 55. It's a little bit on the high end as far as cologne fragrances go, but it's really good. Rayhaan Pharaoh. So this right here got a bunch of hype. Got a little Pharaoh bro right there on the front. I think his nose got rubbed a little bit. It's kind of turned silver on us. And with this fragrance, they even had like a massive launch party thing in Egypt. So it was like Influencer Central out at the pyramids. And I gotta say, it's easy to hate on this one because of that and just be like, well, it's definitely gonna suck. But it is actually really, really solid. So it smells similar to Oman Luxury Caden. You've got leather in here, you've got coffee, you've got vanilla, you have a bunch of spices, a bit of Gaiac wood in there as it dries down as well in the base. Another one that has that Middle Eastern flair to it, obviously smelling similar to an Oman Luxury, and it is going to be more of a fall wintertime fragrance for me. And, spring, summer, this stuff is a bit too heavy, too robust to pull off. That's how you say it, robust. But yeah, just an absolute monster in terms of performance. Stuff smells really, really nicely done and follows up with the other Rayhaan fragrances that have come out here over the past couple years. Just a market increase in terms of quality and value versus what you're paying and what you're getting compared to the original ones. Let's go with another good one, then we'll go with kind of a mid one. This is Elixir Narcissus. Kind of a blacked out bottle style here, and that's because it smells similar to YSL Myself Eau de Parfum. So the one potential drawback for this one could be, ooh, that sprayed a lot. Ooh, powerful atomizer. But like I was saying before, I got distracted by the massive cloud that was over here. It was like the bottle was vaping next to me. Like Thanks, bro. I can't breathe.
I can't breathe!
But yeah, it smells like My Self Eau de Parfum. Only potential drawback with that is My Self Eau de Parfum is not a crazy, crazy expensive fragrance. It's not cheap, but you know, it's not a $200 or $300 or $400 scent is what I'm saying. So you could look at that and be like, well, you know, I'll just pay X amount more and get the real deal. Probably roughly double is what you would pay because this one at JOMASHOP, 45 bucks for 100 mil. But as far as that scent profile, man, this stuff absolutely crushes. Does have maybe a touch more sweetness to it to me, but still captures that clean orange blossom vibe extremely well. Super versatile. You can wear this whenever you want. And pretty much every elixir that I've smelled has been top-notch stuff. That is no different. Okay, something a little bit mid, it's Riiffs again. Now this one is called Golden Elixir and it is definitely better than Freeze. Also, you can tell immediately what it is. This is obviously Angel Share / Kamra / all of those other fragrances that have started to run together in my brain. And this is actually good. It smells well done. The fragrance is nice. It's not like the gaudiest looking of all the fragrances in this style, but you know, it's nice enough and it does feel heavy in the hand. The atomizer is good, all that stuff. The issue with it is it's not doing anything new. It's not the strongest of the bunch. It's not the cheapest of the bunch, although it is toward the lower end of pricing. About 25 bucks most places. Some places have it like 30, but we're right around there. The issue is you have things like this Shiraz Blend by Zamaya that has a nicer overall presentation, better smelling fragrance with better performance, better pizza, Papa John's. Which by the way, this one most places is gonna be right about the same price as this one, maybe a couple dollars more, but you can also find it less as well, depending on where you look. So it's just one of those issues where it's like, well, this is nice, it smells good, but there are also 50 other fragrances like this out there, and you could get something like this for about the same price that's gonna be better as far as everything. Quality, performance, scent profile, the whole deal. So for me, that makes it kind of in the middle somewhere. Let's get back to something good. Aristo Arabiyat Prestige. Looks like it's a Le Male Elixir or a Le Male Elixir Absolute. If I didn't know anything about this, that's what I would say it was. Actually, I'd probably go Absolute because it's Aristo and they both start with an A. And yeah, that's pretty much my whole brain right there. Well, it's in a gold bottle and it's got an A. That's gotta be Elixir Absolute, man. Ain't nothing else it could be when you think about it. Give me some Copenhagen. But no, it is not that. It is Ingenious Ginger. Kind of interesting. They've had some Ingenious Ginger dupes pop out here recently. It seems to happen a lot. I am not firmly entrenched in the back rooms of what's going on at the dupe houses. So I don't know the inner workings of what's going on, but it is always kind of funny to me when you have 2, 3, or 4 brands all come out with a dupe of the same fragrance at the same time. It's always like, huh, yeah, weird, But back to this, as far as dupes of that scent, I think this one absolutely rips. The citrus off the top smells awesome, a bunch of orange. The ginger is not bracing and aggressive and potentially off-putting, which some of the other ones, they a little bit are. Like they took the ginger and some of the other dupes and just ramped that sucker up and just did not soften the edges, which if you really want like a biting ginger, then those would probably work better. But this one is smoother just from top to bottom and has a nice little vanilla sweetness in there as it dries down. And I think that on the whole, it smells nicer. So I'd rock with that one. That stuff is good. But before that next one, codes. Oh yeah. They are also all up in the description. So you can scroll down there, you can copy, you can paste. That's gonna be Control or Command C and then Control or Command V. Copy paste. But you can take those, use those on any of those stores that you see. I've got JOMASHOP, Gift Express, Fragflex, and a bunch of other stores, including a Lucky Scent. So if you shop at any of those fine establishments, use those codes, save yourself some cash. All right, the next one looks mad cheap. Oof, yes. This is from Mykonos. It's called Dreamscape. And it has, it's got a little cartoon like cheetah guy. Or is he a leopard? Yeah, he looks a little stockier. I don't think he's a cheetah. His lower body appears to be comically small compared to his upper body. He skipped leg day. And the cap, you know, it is a cap. It's actually heavy. Like it's got some heft to it, but this is like hot dog down a hallway. It just has no grip. It just comes right off of there. So do not try to pick this up by the cap because you will have an accident. Oh my. I gotta say, I'm not a fan of bottles that have the caps like that because there's no point. You know what I mean? It kind of slides on there, but oof. Atomizer, actually rules. So atomizer, top notch. Cap, I'd rather have it click into place or something like that, or just slide in there to where, but okay, forget about that. What's most important, the fragrance inside. And this is God of Fire. Yes, it is. It is one of those fragrances where you know it immediately though. You know, you see the color scheme, and if you look at the note breakdown, mango is in the top notes, and that's pretty much it. The second you see that, you're like, oh, I know what that is. And this one leans further toward that mango side of things. A little bit sugary, very fresh, tropical, slightly tart, super attention grabbing. It smells way better than you would expect when you pull this bad boy out of the box, I'll tell you that much. It is though on the cheaper side, just like the Riiffs over here, but the difference is the quality here is higher than especially this one over here. About 25 bones, JOMASHOP is where I picked it up. To be fair, they do not have many Mykonos fragrances on JOMASHOP. I think they've got like 5 right now. So I scooped up what they had, but outside that, I looked at their website, they have like a lot, but in the US, you know, good luck. So that is Dreamscape, solid stuff. Next is one I would skip. It's Joe Milano Game of Spades All In. Now the look is sick. I love this gradient. I think it looks awesome. The atomizer is really good. The price sucks. Joe Milano has positioned themselves as a premium clone brand, and what that means is they're charging you more. Because in fact, this is a stock bottle. It's a good looking bottle. I love the gradient, but this is the exact same bottle that Fragrance World used on Harmony Code Absolute. Like I said, this is the exact same bottle. And the reason I bring that up is Harmony Code Absolute, that stuff was like 20 bucks. So yes, the bottle looks nice, but this bottle is not causing the price to be what it is, because this stuff goes for like $70 at discounters. Now, sometimes they'll run a sale like $10 off and stuff like that, but 70 is what it usually goes for. And when they first launch these, they'll take pre-sales at like 90 bucks. And then they try to like drum up hype so that everybody buys it pre-sale, and then they move to the next one. So this smells like Louis Vuitton City of Stars. It is a little bit feminine leaning, kind of powdery. Also has a slight alcohol tinge to it when you first spray it on. The citrus is not super nice in it. Just overall, for the price point, I'd skip it. All right, let's speed up with some of these ones that are really good. The next one, Lattafa Assad Elixir. This stuff smells similar to Boss Bottled Absolute, which I absolutely love. That stuff freaking rules, and this stuff is top notch as well. Atomizer kind of sucks though. Like after all these ones with pressurized atomizers, even the cheapo ones that don't smell great, you go to this and it's just kind of a turdy atomizer. You should have a good one. Smells nice. It's rich, it's classy, smooth, slightly creamy, sweet, little patchouli in there, tobacco as well. That stuff is great. Fragrance World Coliseum. Honestly, really rare to see a Fragrance World fragrance because almost everything they put out now is French Avenue, you know? Fragrance World basically forgotten. But this one is solid. So it's supposed to smell similar to Triumph of Bacchus by Argos. It's gonna be a rum, peach, tobacco sort of vibe. Though I don't think tobacco is an official note, Triumph of Bacchus smells kind of similar to red tobacco, so that's where I get that sort of vibe from. Amber, vanilla, and tonka, along with patchouli, some of the other notes that are in here. The only real drawback to this potentially is that it is not crazy strong. It's not weak. It's not the type of scent that lasts 30 minutes or whatever, but it's not gonna be one of those ones that fills up a room. And I don't know that they're gonna do it, but they have before, where French Avenue will come out with something after Fragrance World comes out with something, like they'll copy the same thing and they'll do like a higher quality version that lasts longer and projects better. It wouldn't surprise me if they do that here. But even if they never do, that right there is solid on the cheap. Now something really quickly that's sort of mid. This right here, Joe Milano again, Game of Spades Full House. Same thing I said about this also applies here. The price oftentimes is too much, but this one as of now is more affordable than that one. So it doesn't affect this as much. And I also think that this one overall smells better than that one. This is kind of similar to Imagination by Louis Vuitton. And this is one that kind of the same deal as this one. It smells nice. I think the quality is good. It's wearable. The whole thing is actually nice. The issue is you have other alternatives out there like Marwa and stuff like that that are cheaper and smell just as good, if not a little bit better. But on the whole, that one is solid. If you pick it up at a low price, then I'd say absolutely it would be great. You know, if you could get it at like 30 bucks, 35 bucks, something like that. But most of the time it's still around 50, and I think at that price point, it's not worth it compared to the other ones that you could get. But it's a lot better than this. Another Arabiyat, this one is Noire. Kind of a cool presentation, kind of dig it. And this is Dior Homme Parfum. The new Dior Homme Parfum. Yeah. which is a solid fragrance for people looking for an easy wearing iris that has just, you know, the iris off the top and then drying down to a more contemporary, vanilla forward kind of attention grabbing scent profile. Stuff works really well for that. And I will say this stuff is really nice, very well done. It leans a little aromatic compared to Dior Homme Parfum, the new version. So this has cypress, it also has that iris, it has lavender and geranium, tonka, vanilla as well as it dries down. And it's just that cypress, the lavender and geranium kind of works together and gives it a little bit of a green aromatic tinge. You do get that big pop of iris off the top, a little bit sugary, nicely sweet. And then once you get that full dry down, warms up more with the vanilla and the amber. Surprisingly well done stuff, real nice. And we're gonna end with this. This is Ramod, just regular Ramod. So this right here is possibly the most overlooked of the Naxos dupes. It has cardamom in here, it's got lavender, it has of course tobacco. It doesn't officially have it as a note, I don't think, but there's vanilla in here. There's also cedar, there's amber. And I was talking about this earlier, how brands will come out with just like all the dupes of the same thing at the same time. This kind of fell in with that. And I didn't even buy this until after Atralia Magma Ember Dusk, which I think is probably the worst of the bunch. Italia from Rayhaan, Fierte Luna from French Avenue. Like I had all those and more, and then I bought this one, essentially just because I was making a big order, like $500 on JOMASHOP, and I just tossed this in there essentially. What I did is I just searched up brands, like that's how I got these two, and a couple of the other ones like this one here, and just went like, well, I don't have that one, add to cart. I don't have that one, add to cart. And as I said, what I've been doing is when I get them in and I think they suck, I don't mention them, and lately I've been like, well, screw it, let's mention them. It makes the videos longer, but you know. So yeah, I overlooked this one. It is absolutely freaking awesome. This is one of the best Naxos dupes. The sweetness is perfectly balanced. I think that's the best part about this one. It doesn't go too overboard with like the honey aspect, and so it keeps it smelling more reined in. Performance is good, but it smells better put together, better blended. So that's Ramod, that one right there, the last good one. There we go. Bunch of fragrances, some of these really good, some of these not so good. I wanna thank you guys for hanging with me here until the end. Stay safe out there, take care of yourselves. I'll see you with another fragrance video. See you guys.